I'm Mark Hall-Patton. I want to welcome you to the Clark County Museum. Now, when you come out to the museum, of course, you see the main museum building and, of course, Heritage Street. But you might kind of wonder about Heritage Street. Where did all these buildings come from? The reality is we have picked up all these buildings from various places around the valley and actually moved them out here and restored them over the years. Now, as you start down the street, the very first building we moved out here that is a home was the Beckley House. This one was built in 1912. That one was actually moved out here in the late 1970s and was restored out here. Directly across from it is one of the original townside houses from Henderson. It dates to between 1941 and 1942 and is one of the 3-bedroom varieties of the townside houses that were used in Henderson. But as you come down the street, you will see different time periods of times that people lived here in the Vegas Valley. We have on this side the Gorman House. The building was actually built in 1931, but we have it restored to the late 1950s. Now across the street, right over here, we have an area that we call Mobile America. It talks about different ways that people lived here at times when they were just staying for a short time. We have a motor court cabin and a trailer. A lot of people would come here and stay in trailers. This is after World War II. We have our print shop here. Now, the print shop is actually one that is a reproduction. It's not an original building and was built on site, but it's a reproduction of what a print shop would have looked like in an old city like Las Vegas in the early years here. And then here at the end of the street, we have the Giles Barker's house, which was originally built in Goldfield in the mid-1920s and then moved down to Las Vegas. And directly across from it, we have the Babcock and Wilcox house, which was built down in Boulder City in the early 1930s. Now, all of these buildings at various times have been brought out to the museum. They have been restored back to the time period of the houses. And you can come out here and go through them, learn about how people have lived over the years, and just see how it's changed, how it's the same. Because it has changed, and in many cases it is the same. Now let's take a look at how we've added to Heritage Street. So you can see that this is the more established part of Heritage Street, but we've actually added to it. We have our railroad cottage. That's from between 1909 and 1911. That was moved out from downtown Las Vegas. We have our barn over here. That's actually from the early 1950s. That's the Esslinger barn. It was a homestead location. Behind us over here, we have actually the very first building that was here at the museum. That's the Union Pacific Depot from Boulder City. And we have the last building here that we are going to be starting to restore here, thanks to our Clark County Museum Guild. This is going to be restored this year. That is the Grand Canyon Airlines ticketing office, Bradley House. That was both the ticketing office for Grand Canyon Airlines down in Boulder City in the mid-1930s, and later was the home of the first black family that was allowed to live in Boulder City, which was the first segregated community in southern Nevada. So we will be hopefully opening that building, we hope within the next 4 to 5 months out here. So what we do out here is, as we bring out some of these buildings, we are able to then raise the money. It takes a number of years, but we get the money raised. Then we get them restored, we open them to the public, and we have them out here so that you can come out, you can learn a little bit about our history, bring your family out, enjoy the area. Remember, we are only open 7 days a week. It is hard to find us open. It is 9 to 4:30. I am sorry, it is $2 a head to go through, so do come out and visit us. We look forward to seeing you.